What's up, my Lamely? Thanks for joining us for the first episode of Mariah's World here at AfterBuzz. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
I'm just gonna keep the guns.
Keep those. No, not for this tempo, though. No. Slow it down.
Hey guys, thanks for joining us tonight for episode 1 of Mariah's World. We're so excited. We've got this brand new fabulous panel. I'm Abigail Fraher. You can follow me at Abigail Fraher on all my social media.
Start with me. Hey everybody, it's Jesse D'Angelo. You can follow me across all social media at Jesse J. D'Angelo.
What's up, you guys? You can follow me, Kalima, at Kalima Music Art Wisdom everywhere.
Ooh. And I'm Olivia, the real OG. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, the real_O_G.
All right, guys. First thoughts.
You know
2 words.
something?
Nope.
Oh, I have more
Sentence.
than 2 words.
Hit me with it.
Can't be limited.
Sparkly.
Sparkle. Oh, that's good. That's good.
Oh my
See
God,
what
why do
did?
I don't, okay, 2 words,
I did one.
2 words.
I don't know, you know, a lot.
A lot.
It was a
Okay.
lot.
All right.
I have 2 words with a small lead-in. It was everything that I wanted and needed.
Okay. If I'm gonna condense it into 2 words, I just have dramatic AF because
Yeah. Winner.
let's just start right with the beginning. Bianca Storm. We haven't seen her in about a decade.
Died. At first I was like, Bianca, and then I was like, girl, under those bangs, it's Mariah.
Couldn't. It was so funny. What'd you guys think about her starting it off like that?
So what, you guys knew her before? Oh, I didn't
She
know
was
that.
in one of the music videos, and she was
Heartbreaker.
also and she was in an interview.
She
once.
was?
And then
Wow.
they filmed her interviewing herself as
Yes.
Bianca when they were doing press for Rainbow, which was the album that Heartbreaker was on.
Oh,
So that's her alter ego.
Yes, that's right.
Like, Sasha Fierce, and then we have Bianca Storm, who I think really is just Mariah.
With an accent.
And she calls Mariah Maria.
So she like makes fun of herself, basically.
Yeah.
Basically.
She posted a while ago a picture of her dressed up as Bianca on her Instagram. And I actually read somewhere that she had, because people are like, oh, is that for Halloween or this? And I guess she had a Mariah Carey themed party. And you had to, that's what I read. And you had to show
Mariah
up
would
as-
have that.
Like, yeah.
But you see,
And
like,
I would go.
Only, right?
all of these
it.
things that we already knew about Mariah had me going into this episode with certain expectations, and I was kind of pleasantly surprised. I think I found out that I liked Mariah more than I thought I liked
That's
her.
what I thought too. I thought
agree.
the whole time I was gonna go into it being like, oh my God, this diva, and it was
She's not that
She's a
delicious,
diva,
but in
yeah.
the best ways.
Right.
Like I was
and
definitely
rightfully so. You're Mariah Carey. Like
You're
you
Mariah
can be a
the
diva.
The woman's worth $500 million. I mean,
Yeah.
girl, have at it. Jump in the ocean in your diamonds. I just don't lose them.
Yeah, right.
So from that point, then we meet Stella, who is her manager, and she's fairly new to Mariah's gang.
Yeah.
The team.
The team. And she has her kids also, I guess, with her that are going we didn't see them on the show, but I believe that they're going to be with
They were on the yacht.
Rock and roll.
Briefly.
No,
Those
those
are
are
their
Mariah's
kids.
kids.
Oh,
but like
Stella's
kids are
kids.
with.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah.
I didn't even see Stella's
so
kids.
they said that Stella's
Yeah,
kids
me
are going to be
either.
with her as well, but we didn't see them. So I'm not really sure.
She might not want to show them.
Right,
you know?
right. What do you guys? I mean, we'll get more into Stella. I feel like a little bit later on. But what was your first impression of Stella? I thought Mariah's mom. Like I was like, it's just an older version of Mariah.
Yeah. Well, she's a boss. I think she's a boss,
Yeah.
and that's
Yeah.
her job to be a boss. Like,
Right.
I think a lot of people are intimidated by her because she is new to the team, so she's making a lot of changes. But it seems like Mariah's happy with the changes.
There's no emotional ties.
And for
Yeah.
someone who's she literally said, most of my life I've been doing this as a career. So you have, as a woman who literally has to prove to a woman that, you know, that successful, you know, she's got to come hitting hard because she's going to be constantly compared to the people before her. So
And she said
Yeah.
she's
Right.
had people before that were content with just being on her payroll, getting paid for doing the bare minimum. So I think she's, excited to have someone
Who's
come in
just
and
like,
just take control and do the
get
things
out,
that
get
other
out,
people
get
couldn't
out.
do for her.
Right.
And put her foot down. And people don't like that. I guess.
I like Stella.
I do too.
She's
assertive. She knows what she
very
wants.
assertive and takes no bullshit.
Yep.
And
I would not want to work like under her though.
No, right.
I wouldn't want to work under her, but I feel
Because
like
I feel like she doesn't have much patience.
No,
you know,
because that's what I gotta stop because I'm just gonna go
Yeah.
off. But I need to save that. And then we saw Mariah. It kind of jumped to Mariah falling down the stairs on the yacht, which
my
I found
gosh.
hilarious as well. Like,
That was
it's
funny.
just, and we see those little bits like where she's real.
and that's
I
to
like
be
that.
honest, like right when she fell, that's when I was like, okay,
Like she didn't cut that.
Yeah.
She's not trying too hard.
she was just being funny about it, and she was being real, and I expected her personality to be extremely different just by how like the media portrays her. But of course now this is from her perspective, so she has a little bit more control over how she's perceived.
And she also knows when the cameras are rolling and when
Yeah.
they're not rolling. So
Yeah,
I would
she-
like to see.
Well, this isn't her
secret
first
footage.
rodeo,
But-
you know?
Right. But
Hello,
it was.
Cribs. Can we?
Yeah.
I mean, which the whole yacht scene was giving me true homage to
one
that
of the reviews I
epic
read
episode.
said that it was like it was Cribs. Like,
yeah, it really
reunited
did.
or
It really
something.
did. Yeah.
And I will say I love how she sort of like narrates her own everything. Like when she fell on the stairs, she's like, darling, I just slip into a high note when I fall. Or she's in the doorway, she's like, oh, silhouette shot. Like she just like
and
narrates
she's
her
all
own
about the
everything.
lighting. Oh my god.
So funny. So if it's like her, well, that's later too. But with her sunglasses only in fluorescent lights, I was like, can I have that
Really?
rule? Like that's on her rider, I believe.
I was waiting all
No,
episode
it
for
is.
that.
She
Yeah.
said
No, it
she was
is.
like, I can't go, and like if I'm gonna be in fluorescent light, it's known I have to have sunglasses on.
And then we met Sean for a brief moment. Her what cousin?
Nephew.
Nephew. Okay. What do you guys think of him?
I think
Just
he's
introducing
cool.
everyone. I
I
feel like
didn't.
we'll-
First of all, I didn't expect him to be her nephew.
Yeah.
But it seems like they
Yeah.
vibe, and they obviously had a history because he was talking about the "Touch My Body" song and how he had to fix it up, so it was like more appropriate for him as a nephew to like listen to
To
it.
be comfortable with.
Yeah.
Touch my
He's
elbow.
cute though. Yeah,
touch my elbow. So then we meet Anthony, who I thought this was cool. We're seeing, Mariah really pull from within her crew. Like she promoted him from background dancer to creative director.
Yeah,
I like
love
Anthony.
that. I've always, and I followed him from Dance Moms too.
Okay.
He's done a lot of other shows. Just even choreographing, obviously, a lot of other huge, talents as well. But yeah, I was really happy to see that she, gave him that platform. So I'm excited to see what he's going to do
He
with her.
seems so almost. I don't want to go as far as taking his job too seriously because that's never the case, really. But you can see that I feel like there's going to be some little tit for
Bumping
tat
heads,
stuff
yeah.
with Mariah, especially because he was like, we need to go over these two dances. Well, my music comes first, and so for him, I feel like it's all dancing. Like dance comes first to him, but he needs to be able to realize that
Yeah.
he's managing
Yeah.
a singer 1st.
And she seems like she wants to always be in the know. So if there's a small
Right.
change, she wants
She's
to
a
know
control
about
freak.
it.
She's a control freak, which
And
is
rightfully
good.
so. She
Yeah.
wants her.
Well, she said
everything to
herself
be-
that at the
Right.
end of the day, it's always the fingers pointed at her if something's going wrong. So I would want to know about everything too.
100%.
And that's kind of great that she is so heavily involved in everything. Like, although she has all these people working for her, it's still, at the end of the day, it's her vision still involved in it. And I think, comparing Sean and Stella, they both know what they want, and they're both like very assertive. And sure, it could make people uncomfortable sometimes, but at the end of the day, in this industry, that's the way you have to be, or else you're
not gonna get
you'll get
anything.
walked all over.
Right. Her
Yeah.
her one-liners though to people are killing me. Like when she was talking to Anthony and she's like, one day I hope he has the respect, or you have the respect for my creative process as much as I do for yours. And I was like,
Burn.
backhanded compliment there. Like it was
Yeah.
just like the things
She's
that
the
come
queen
out
of
of her
that.
mouth are hilarious. And when she was singing with her producer on the
Oh
piano,
yeah, I really like that. That was
like
that was a
that
cute
too.
little moment.
it's so
She's
bougie.
always laying.
Yeah.
She's
She's always-
always
okay.
laying on a couch
I
or
feel
Just
something.
straight from a
like-
Chase Lounge.
Yeah.
We just need to talk about when we were watching the show. We were talking about what does it take to make a diva.
Yeah, we're saying like what makes a diva, because when she goes into that first rehearsal, or the first one that we see with Anthony as her creative director, she's in just all black, and he's like, give us more of this, like people like that. And then she goes on to say, well, it's always, the grass is always greener, like I can never win sort of a thing, double-edged sword. Like people are like, no, like we want you to be glamorous and this sort of like on this untouchable like pedestal, but then people are saying, no, we want you more grounded. And I said that's so true, because what do we want to see in her as a diva? Like for us to, in our minds, consider her a diva, like, you know what I mean? How do
Right.
we define that. Like I like seeing her larger than life, and like that's how I see her in my mind, you know.
I don't know. I love seeing celebrities just like on stage, you know. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like Beyonce she can be on the street dressed to the nines, you know, really really nice but still with jeans. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Like it's expensive jeans,
Right.
but it's nice. But then when she's on stage, it's like Sasha Fierce, you know. I like that contrast, you know. And even though Mariah, she does it really well, I feel like if you do it too much, you always have to up yourself. You always have to prove.
That's
and
what
that's
it
not
is.
human. It's not normal, you know. And I feel like why put more stress on yourself when at the end of the day the sales are going to be there. So it doesn't matter what you do.
Like
I don't
she's
know.
always in a costume.
Yeah.
I feel like it's hard to maintain, but the second that when she was in the studio with the producer and it looked like she was placed there, you know, like someone like sprawled out her outfit and like fixed up her hair and she couldn't move and she was like, it's like watching paint dry, and it's like you were just. That's when I knew. I was like, okay, this is how I expected you to be. But I think. Like, did you guys see the previews when she was laying on her couch in the black corset and she's like, this is just how I walk around the house all the time.
And I believe that.
From what I've
Like,
seen,
I believe that woman does not leave her bedroom in the morning until she has a full face of makeup on and at least some fairy dust.
But you know
believe
what?
it.
If that's
Like,
you, that's you.
right,
Like, she
right.
probably, like, pea sparkles. Like,
Right?
it's Mariah Carey. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm
Glitter, the
saying?
better. Oh
Like,
my God.
when I think of her, I think of, like,
Glitter.
sparkles and glam and, like, being
Literally
a diva.
glitter.
Yeah, literally glitter.
Even when she was walking into the room when all the backup dancers were there, like she just has this air about her. Do you like see that she's a little thirsty when she was sitting there watching that?
The
like,
magic
yeah,
mic.
yeah. And she's just like, what did she say when she was leaving? Like, I adore you all, or
She was like,
was-
I love you
oh,
all.
I enjoyed it profusely. And she
yeah,
kind of like
yeah.
snuck out. She
And,
like
like,
raised
just,
her
like,
hand over
Holds
the
her
threshold.
hand. It was like she's a magician.
She's like, oh, and it was great to see you.
What do you guys? What are your feelings about Brian?
He's cute. He was cute. That was the first thing I was like, from the photos that you see online with all of the speculation, I was like, really? He just seems like a rebound, you know?
Wait,
like,
so they used to hook up, or they are
So-
hooking
Yeah,
up?
let's lay it down for people who
Basically,
don't know.
Brian was a backup dancer for Mariah in the past, and they had some.
let's see if we can pull up the photo, by the way, too, but go on.
I believe they had. I don't know if they had ever hooked up in the past, but they were very close.
Mm-hmm.
Had a close relationship. And then Mariah, married Nick, and then divorced Nick, and then now she's with, or she was with
James.
And then so he kind of just met with her, and he didn't really have to do anything that the other backup dancers had to do. Like, it was like known, like he'll be on the road with Mariah kind of thing.
Like they would take your shirts off and he just
he
walks
was
by. I don't
oozing
have to.
like love, like a little girl. He was like,
wow.
oh, I like have feelings for like even like when they were interviewing him on the show and stuff, and now they're being seen everywhere together. Like,
Oh, now they are?
yeah, like they were at the premiere together last night.
He's going to pull it up.
They were on the beach together. We're getting these pictures.
It's under Mariah's World in the email, by the way.
That's crazy.
But so
While
you're
we
saying
wait.
so you're saying that when he didn't take the shirt off, it was because he knew that he didn't have to listen?
Well, she
No,
said...
he just knows it's in the bag. He knew it was in the
but
bag.
she said, like, oh, I already know what that
Right.
looks like.
Oh, stop it.
And she
Yeah.
was like, "Do you love how Brian like doesn't think he has to just
Yeah,
kind of
and that's what
tread
he
on?"
said. He was like, you already know, like...
and he's just like laughing, and then
And he
like
did a little
he
sneak.
pulled up his shirt like
Yeah.
a little, and I was like, yo, your body is not more banging than the
Maybe
other
that's
guys,
why he
though.
left it on.
Right? And then he's just like acting like he owns it, and I'm like, but do you? I don't think so.
That's crazy.
He's all, "I had a big lunch." Okay.
right.
Wait, do you guys think that we'll be introduced to James? Like, I mean, we've seen him, but do you think personally he'll be on the show?
I don't think so.
I
Well,
don't
he
think
was
so
he was
either.
in the previews in the beginning. Like them just
I
kissing.
think it's gonna be
you
like
know?
how we see Kanye and the Kardashians, very much like a cameo, but like, oh, you see his head, or like he'll do like one
Like,
line,
he's
like
too
you hear
good
him in the
for it.
background,
Kiss,
kind
give
of
him
thing.
a hug.
Because he's a businessman, and I don't think maybe necessarily that works the best with his
Yeah, like,
branding.
this isn't his world.
Yeah.
But I read that he was sort of heavily involved in the show, but then editing came into question after their split. Like, is he going to be edited out? And there were rumors that sources were saying that he demanded to be edited out, and then someone from his team came back and said that's ridiculous. They're not even done filming. He hasn't said that, so everything's just like a back and forth. I feel like as far as reports go surrounding everything.
And what can you catch us up with basically what happened with her and James, because they're no longer together. Obviously she's kind of being seen with Brian now, but can you give everyone kind of a background?
So
Oh no,
I-
those aren't the pictures, by the way. Those are not the pictures.
well,
Oh, it's okay. It's okay.
It's okay. No worries. Y'all can you guys can Google it. But yeah, girl, it's worth the Google though. You should definitely watch it because Nick has been like pretty much being petty and going in competition with the photos.
Oh, really?
Like, basically, you know how there's that famous photo of Nick and Mariah at the beach of him, like, picking her up? Yeah. We'll show that probably next time.
Right.
Yeah, they're
The
going
Brian
back and
did like
forth,
a D-grade version of
Yeah.
that. It was like he could barely hold Mariah up. Like, it was funny. But then, so Brian posted on Instagram first,
Yes.
and then Nick followed up posting
and
the
he
one
was
of
like,
him
this
and Mariah.
is how you do it.
And like
Yeah.
snap back really hard.
I just got the chills. You're kidding me.
Yes!
Because this is how it's done.
But isn't
Yes,
Nick
it was
having
a
a baby
clapback.
with somebody else?
right?
Chill out.
Everyone needs to calm down and mind their own. No,
Right,
yeah, sip
exactly
it,
that.
sip it.
Sips tea.
That is funny.
So yeah, I'm excited to see how things continue in the show, at least with Brian, because with reality, I think it's always reality TV. I think it's always really exciting to follow the reality show, but then also get the news snippets outside of the show to see what's kind of going on now, because it's it's a few months behind. So
Delicious.
it'll be it'll be exciting to see all of that stuff coming up. And then when she was meeting with the makeup artist with Christopher.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so this is where Stella's kind of taking control. Do we think that Stella cut the hair artist, Danielle? We think that she cut her?
That's what I was wondering
because Stella was very, very much like, no, we're not bringing 8 dancers.
Mm-hmm.
The hair artist is not.
well,
the
there's going to
hairstylist
be
is
a
not gonna be on
different
the road.
hairstylist, isn't it?
I don't know.
But I feel like they flashed a picture of her really quick.
Yeah.
The hairstylist Danielle, but I feel like I saw her in a preview for later, like arguing
really?
with someone. So I don't know if
Okay.
she is going to end up coming, or because I don't know if they said that she got rid of her, but from what Christopher said,
She
it
wasn't
seemed as
going
though
on the
like
tour.
there was a general sort of feeling and tone that the team was getting from Stella being on board, because we were saying she's assertive and she's like, she's no bullcrap.
She has a
and so
hard-
maybe Danielle had an issue with that and was like, I'm not
It
here
could
for
be.
that.
Well, because Christopher said, he's like, I almost feel like I'm on the chopping block. I'm kind of scared. If Danielle's not coming, like, what's going to happen to me?
However, I
Right.
feel like that is a good feeling that people should have. Like, maybe for
Your
them
ass
they
is
don't,
on the line.
maybe they don't feel good about it. But as a person running, a tour, yeah, everyone needs to feel like their ass is on the line. Like, you could go tomorrow. That way, you're gonna see your absolute best out of everybody. Because you see Mariah giving her absolute best. You see Stella like up at all hours. I mean, they were just landing at 11 p.m. to go do rehearsal.
Yeah, you
they were
can't-
3 hours late. But like, even the small people need to give their all.
Yeah, no one should be
all the time.
like performing like they're irreplaceable. You know what I mean? Because
right.
You
none
are.
of them are. Yeah,
And-
exactly.
Like, I feel like Mariah she trusts Stella a lot. Do we know how long they've known each other?
I was wondering that.
It almost seems like they're like friends.
Right.
I'll do a Google.
Because when they were talking on the phone again about James, about the wedding, and Stella was just really honest, like, let's postpone the wedding and focus on the tour. What do you guys think about that? Putting business before pleasure, or before, and not even pleasure, but like your personal life. I mean, how do you?
I feel
What are
like
your
it's almost
thoughts?
necessary. If you're doing a world tour, not like, an international tour, that's a big deal. And I think that, not that it's easier to, I mean, it is almost easier to reschedule a wedding as opposed to scheduling all these
There's
different
so
tour
many
dates.
components,
There's so many
right.
different components, and it's like, if the other person truly loves you and like supports your grind and supports your
Right.
career, like, it's going to happen. It's just not going to happen right now.
See, most men, like, who are bosses, though, he's a billionaire. He's not used to answering to anyone. He's used to having his own schedule. And, like, most of those bosses are used to having, like, a girl who doesn't work that hard, And they said it in the show. She's a machine. Like, her schedule is insane. So I don't even know how really they have time to date, to be honest. But for whatever reason, they did connect. They did feel like it was worth, getting married. And I'm sure when she got really emotional, it was because, I'm sure he wants that a submissive sort of woman, because that's what he's used to. So for her to have to postpone it, I don't know. I think that it's necessary for her career because that is her values. But in that moment, you're basically telling your mate, this is what I choose.
Right. I choose this over you.
This
or
is
something.
actions
right.
speak louder than words.
Right.
You're saying that at the end of the day, my career will come first before even my wedding. That's huge.
How do you feel about
I
it?
completely agree. But then also to that, I will say, I feel like he's a billionaire. So as a businessman, I feel like who would better understand that? You know what I mean? Because you bet your ass he would say that all of his stuff would come first too.
Of
You know what I mean?
course.
So, but I totally get what you're saying is, as far as what he might be used to.
Yeah.
My
Well, I
thing
mean-
is, like, I need a few questions answered. I need to know what came first, did they decide on the world tour before he proposed to her?
Oh, that's
Did he
true.
propose to her after they decided on the world tour? Because like that
true.
to me is like
Well, yeah, of
That
course.
would
So
be-
once something's an obligation.
right. But also, like, I would go with the world tour before getting married too. So
I mean,
can't
so
really
would
blame her.
I,
I mean,
but,
money.
like-
But you know what I mean? She's been Mariah Carey
Right.
forever. He just came along. So for her to cancel her tour, which
That's
is part
devastating
of
people,
her,
right.
do you know what I mean? Like, you have to think about it that. She knew him less
So
than a year,
did
right?
they ended up getting married and then divorced, right?
No, they
No,
never
they
even
never got
married.
married. And
But
she-
there's like huge disputes over money and things
Because
like that.
so low key, but well, not low key, it's out. But behind the
Hi,
scenes,
Key.
she was hi Key. She was requesting $50 million from him as an inconvenience fee.
Yeah, yeah.
That's right. I remember reading something
Pre-prenup.
a
This
little
is
like
even, like-
ridiculous.
But they said that he
Inconvenience
is
for what?
going to be like they inconvenience.
inconveniencing her
because she
trying to
had
squeeze
to-
us into 2 weeks.
She said she had to move from New York and uproot her life to come here to LA so he could be closer to his kids, and she said that costed her money. And then when they split up, I don't know if it had something to do with the big blowout they had in Greece or whatever, but you know, the tumultuous end they had caused her to be so like upset that she had to cancel, I think, the South African leg of her tour, which caused like financial trouble
Okay.
as far as the budget went. So she claimed that too, but $50 million.
To go a little off topic here, not really off topic at all.
But he did
happened
counter
in
with
Greece?
something lower, by the way.
He
Just
did?
FYI, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he
What
did
did he
counter.
come
So
with?
he is willing. I don't think it was even 10. I don't even think it was 10. But it was in the millions.
Yeah.
So that's you know, to me, I mean,
I'll take it.
But he's a
He's a
billionaire.
billionaire.
That's what I
Right.
was gonna say. Like he's like, if
Nothing.
that's what I have to do to like move forward, he's
Right.
used to having to pay
Shoo.
people to move forward.
on.
So yeah.
Right? To him, that's like making it rain change, like jingle.
Right. Here's $100. Get out.
yeah.
Crack open a roll of 50 cents.
Get out of here. What happened in Greece?
I don't know if we know exactly. They just
What do we know?
in September when they were in
these
Greece.
are our Mariah buffs.
I
These
know.
two in the middle,
Yeah.
in the middle.
We got all the good
So
Slow
they're
down.
my encyclopedia for Mariah.
I think we just know that that's when they had their gigantic blowout. They were there in September, and I feel like whatever the fight was about was probably about whatever, you know, it was the straw that broke the camel's back and ended the relationship. But even that, there are so many things we were all talking about reading what it could be that really
Okay.
ended it.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't remember anything with Greece.
Okay, well then you're up
So
on
the
it.
music.
All right. And then,
what?
honestly, to just back up her choice to, you know, postpone the wedding, she says that JLT, like job long time. I was crying when she said
Yeah,
that. I was
that's
like, oh
funny.
my gosh, like she's like JLT, like I love
Little
her. It's
JLT.
little. Okay. Now, the juiciest, well, not the juiciest, but I think the most fun part of this whole episode is frickin' Molly.
Oh, I feel this poor
Like,
girl.
Molly, I need some popcorn to watch
Right?
the show unfold because I can't with her.
With her gun sweater.
Like, what is this
and with
chick?
the Simpson
How did
like,
she get that job?
figurines.
Right.
Like, am I qualified? I
I'm
could have
pretty
got
sure
that job.
they had casting for like a dumb blonde.
Yeah, they probably casted her for
Well,
real.
I'll go. I mean, I could go on a world tour and kill it.
But-
So let's go.
I
Yeah.
feel like she rounds out this group of characters so
She is the
perfectly. So I
comic relief
feel like they almost
fully,
casted
yeah.
her
Fully.
for the show. You know what I mean?
And well, and then I was thinking too because you know how Stella told Molly, you know, no boyfriends, and then there they are like filming with
she's
her
like,
boyfriend. So I'm like, all right,
I
this is
can't
all
have a
staged. Like,
Exactly.
Wait, because my problem with that was the boyfriend was more than chill that
Yeah.
she couldn't have a boyfriend.
Right.
He's like, so are we gonna go get some
Yeah.
in and out? And I was
Right.
like, that's all you can say.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It sounds like they probably told her on screen to discuss
Discuss
it.
it, right.
But let's be real. Anyone's who's in a relationship would be like, even if that was the case, which I do believe especially since Stella, you know, is very assertive about, you know, you need to be very serious about your jobs. I could see her being like, we need someone who's single as an assistant. I'm pretty sure she told him, you know, I have to tell them in front of the camera that we're not together, but we're gonna make this work. You
Right,
know, so
right.
I'm
Don't
sure.
worry, boo. Like,
yeah, I mean,
gonna
that's
stick
too,
it out.
I mean, it was.
It
I'm
didn't
sure it
even
was for the
really seem
cameras.
like, I don't think that
I don't
they
even
broke
think
up
she, I
at
don't even
all.
think she went that because I think you're being more assertive in your like calm. Like
It almost seemed like they were just
delivery
gonna
of
keep it
that,
on the
then they were like,
DL.
Molly was just kind of like, oh, well, I can't call you around Stella, like,
Yeah.
But then you're
Okay.
right. He's like, oh, it's like you have to like pretend or like that I don't exist, and she's like, that you don't
just don't
exist. And he's like,
exist.
cool, so should we get you some American candy and get
She's
it out
like,
to go with?
like with her Winnie the Pooh figurines in the
feel like
background.
she's probably a very intelligent young woman, but you know,
Playing up that part of her.
they had
for
to
the-
play
Maybe.
and even if she
gotta
wasn't
be.
playing that part, like the power, we all know about the power of editing. Like
Right.
they could make you look any way they want you to
anyway,
look.
that's true. But the whole Apple TV, I mean, it's really not hard to set up
It's
an
not.
Apple
I
TV.
was like, she's like not even trying to Google. Like,
no.
Her
So-
trying to find the right door though was everything to me.
So,
the camera's
I know,
following her.
she's
She's like,
Mariah? I'm like, it's Maria. It's her housekeeping.
so funny.
And she's like, can I make you a sandwich? Like,
Wait, but you
everything's
no, I
so
would've been
chill
like,
around Molly. I would be like freaking the hell out.
Can I ask you guys something though?
Oh,
So if you were in her position and you could go on a world tour with Mariah Carey, but only if you broke up with your boyfriend or
see,
girlfriend.
I'm single, so I can't. I'm not even in love right now, so I can't even like. For me, it's like, why not? But if I was in love, I don't know. You know, because I don't know how it feels right now.
I would do it.
I would still do it, I think.
And I'm in a relationship. Sorry, babe.
What's up, Sammy?
Hey, just wait for me. But
can't
yeah,
exist.
I'm
I'm like
right.
on focus business mode, so I feel like
I feel like I would do like something where maybe more a proactive version of what Molly did, and be like, listen, so we're gonna take this break. For as long as
gotta
I'm
follow
gone.
your dreams.
And it's gonna be like a break where like we just don't talk, but I still exist in your life. So like, don't go running around.
You just don't exist in mine.
Right.
I'm not with someone, but I would like to think that the person I would
understand.
hypothetically be with would be someone who would be understanding of how important that would be to me. so
Right,
I'd be like,
right,
listen,
right.
you just shut your mouth. Because I can't even legally tell you this based
Yeah.
from my contract.
Right.
I'm going to block you on social media so there's no like link up, and I'll see you in a few months.
Right.
Because
Well,
it's
you're
not
about to
even,
travel
like,
the
travel the
world.
world.
Right.
Yeah,
And
who
it's
would
not
deny
even
you
like
that?
she's traveling the world to be on like The Bachelor or something.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like she's looking for other dudes or
Can they
whatever.
do that spin-off?
Yeah,
International.
But yeah, Molly was cracking me up because she's just clueless. So
Poor soul.
And I think we saw when we saw in the previous, like there's gonna be some. Molly's dumb. I'm
And
gonna
the
just
number
say
2
it.
rule was don't cry.
Yeah,
and she was
she's
really crying
crying
over
on
the Apple
episode
TV.
1. So Molly
Malls.
needs to get it together.
We can get her on.
Speaking of getting
I
it
know.
together,
Oh my
right?
God.
Molly, we're coming for
we
you,
can
girl. Get
totally
ready.
get her on. I think we can get her on. We should.
yeah.
We should try.
Yeah, we'll reach out to Molly. Actually, I
works.
would love to talk to her about it because I feel like
I would. Oh, yeah.
people are. After I just called her dumb. Sorry, Molly.
Oh my god.
No, you said that
The
they were probably
character.
casting for a
Yeah,
dumb blonde role.
yeah.
We even said, like, she's probably super intelligent, because how would she even get
She
in the room
has
with a
to
resume
be.
that says what?
Yeah.
That's real.
But speaking of being extras, how Mariah's lift when they were
In the
practicing that
chair.
lift.
Wait, can we talk about how she was injured the first lift? Like, did she just roll
What
off
did you
the
do?
damn thing
That's
from
what
the
I
top
want. Like,
to
what
the
happened?
bottom?
And
'Cause
with
I
8
like
people
to
there,
see
no one
that.
could grab you. Like, what did you do? How did you?
She,
Can we
she
find that
dislocated her
information?
shoulder or something.
And she-
How long ago was that?
2
Because
years
I don't,
ago?
I don't
2 years ago.
Oh, I don't remember seeing that.
That's funny.
But she's just so extra with the glasses, and also, can we not put her on something else a little more sturdy than that? Like those were
Does like a
soft
fold-
gymnastics
need
pads.
the
Like they have the hard
hardcore
ones,
ones.
like the blue ones, you know, that like,
Yeah.
don't really bend, like they had in your gym. As like a kid, no, okay. All right,
Picking up what you're
I'm like,
putting
oh, yeah,
down.
the gym. I go there.
Yeah,
so I
the
know
gym.
I'm like
exactly
the
what you're
blue
talking about.
ones.
yeah,
I
you
know what blue ones, the ones you stretch on.
Yeah.
I mean, are they always blue? That's
Well,
the
like
point.
the
tickling
generic
mats.
version's blue, but like in my school they were maroon and golds.
Sometimes they're black.
Yeah, and they would
I've
like
seen
hang
black
on the
ones.
walls. So you know.
Okay,
what
not wall.
no?
That's a little
Okay,
far from
well,
me.
I don't know what kind of school I went to. Anyway,
Freaking lost.
and then
No, too funny.
we had padding on the walls in my school.
Oh, now I know what you're
Y'all
talking
have wall
about.
padding?
Oh yes, yes, yes.
We were strapped up and yeah, no. So the tour starts in Scotland and Mariah is conveniently 2 hours late
3.
landing, 3 hours late to the rehearsal.
Because they couldn't get the nanny in the
Now,
country.
Okay, again, I feel like, have you guys heard, has anyone here heard or worked with people that have maybe worked with Mariah?
No.
Okay, I've had a few friends who have you?
No, I just have a couple like stories.
Like they were like the PAs or whatever, and everything I have heard fits perfectly into this.
Oh wow.
She's never
Really?
on time. The chick
really?
is never on time.
Well, you know, Ellen did an interview. You saw the Ellen interview with her for this show. She was
Most recently.
yeah, and she
Oh, I
was
actually
like, "Why
just
are
watched
you
that
always
today.
late?" I'm like, "How do you ask that?" Ellen's like the
'Cause she
sweetest
can,
person
right?
ever,
Right?
But I'm like, "How do you ask that?" And she really couldn't answer it. But yeah,
because she just doesn't
Things just
care.
happen.
It's just she's Mariah.
I mean,
feel like
if
things
you're Mariah
happen.
Carey, like,
Can you though? Do you think that's okay?
no,
it's not
never
okay, but at the
No.
same time, we're not going to interview you because you
Yeah,
were late.
yeah,
No, you're
right.
Mariah Carey, and
Yeah.
we're going to
But
make this
I
work.
feel like she abuses that.
she does abuse
And I
it.
feel like I would
'Cause
love for someone to be like,
hours is a lot.
and Anthony was getting hot about it. I mean, they started
He's
without
like, "We're
her.
gonna be in overtime," and that's messed
and it
up.
costs, and that's the other thing
And
is
it
it
costs
costs
more
money.
money.
So Stella,
Well, that's what I'm
who's
saying. Like, you have to
so-
cut dancers.
Right.
What if you just showed up on
On
time? Then
time.
you
You
could
could've
have
had
a
them.
full fleet of dancers.
Like,
You
I'm
have
sorry,
the
how
whole
much
damn
your-
Navy come and dance
Right?
behind you.
How much do backup dancers cost? Not very much. They don't make very much money.
yeah, but to travel the world with you.
It's a lot.
But
yeah.
how much are we talking
They
for
make
2 hours
money,
late for a
though.
venue?
They make money.
like
for a tour like that, yeah.
for a tour like
I
that,
mean,
what are
if-
we thinking? Like
If
30,000 a
background
piece?
singers get an allowance and they get fed food and they get
per
housing
diem,
and they get and they
all
get the
that.
check at the end, come on, dancers are making
Okay.
money too.
I'm just wondering how much it costs at a venue when you're that late. Like, is it going to be the salary of one dancer? It might be.
it's probably overtime.
It's overtime because the people, the staff, the other people who are like ready for the production, ready with the camera,
Right.
and she's not there.
It's
so they
so
have
crazy. Like, if you think, I mean, just because we're all in the entertainment world, you don't even realize there's so much money that goes into productions. Like, I
so
just work
much.
for a company that does commercials, and it's like you don't even think like the graphic designers, the editors, the audio, the
So
lights,
much.
and it's just like all of those people have to make a living,
Right.
and it's like we're paying the salary of all of these people, and it's obviously substantial enough for them to be there. So for them to be there
it's
in
insensitive,
overtime,
right?
And time is the most costly thing. Like, you
Right.
cannot buy time.
Yeah.
That is the most, valuable
Well,
thing.
apparently
anyone
Mariah
has.
can.
Yeah. I was like, that
I can.
billionaire.
Yeah,
Do I make this up?
Watch
too?
me.
so crazy.
And then after that, well, we see Molly with the Apple TV.
And Maria.
And Maria. Maria's funny. I think I like Maria.
I like Maria, too.
She's so sweet and like,
You're not going to be in trouble.
no, she's like, it's not your
not
fault.
you.
No, bitch, it's your fault. Like, you can't get the Apple TV. Like, it is. Whose fault is it? It is
Oh my
your
God.
fault. Like,
She unraveled so quickly, although I think
did.
she's probably right. She's like, if Mariah doesn't have her TV, she can't fall asleep. She can't fall asleep. She can't work the next day. She can't work the next day. She can't do
Right.
the tour. The whole thing is ruined. I'm like,
we're like,
girl.
we got the timetable. Thank
Breathe.
you. Like, you were screwed. Get the Apple TV
Imagine.
working.
Well, I wonder what made her feel that way, because obviously, if Mariah must treat her in a manner that makes her feel like her job is threatened if she can't set up an Apple TV.
Do we think Mariah's even interacted with her?
I was gonna say, I
at this
feel like
point?
at this
It's
point she
only
hasn't even met
Stella.
her.
Yeah.
It's
No
only
way.
Stella.
She hasn't even seen her across
It's
a
like,
room.
okay, chick,
Like-
like, take the gun sweater off, get the Apple TV set up. Like, that's all we're asking thus far of you.
Right. Like,
I mean,
you need
but
to
you know
be-
what? To give her a point, she did get farther than the nanny. The passport.
True.
Yeah, that's true. However, I will say though, her talking to her boyfriend, talking to Fred, good old Freddie, when she was
But
like,
that's his name,
"We're gonna
Fred?
be best friends." I'm like, "That's
No.
all of us." Like, wouldn't you be like, "Right, not gonna be best friends?" He's like, "Oh, so how is it, babe?
Let me
I
know
haven't
how-
even seen her
yeah,
yet."
like, you haven't
I've
Don't worry,
never
let me
met
watch
her.
the show.
She'll get like a picture where Mariah's just like doing her stuff in the background, like, and she'll just be like, "Yeah, me, Mariah." Like,
Mariah
that's all
probably
we-
knows she exists because of the TV show.
Right. That's probably
She
it.
probably watched the premiere. She's like, "Who the hell is this?"
Yeah.
What's
Who the hell's Molly?
who's
Stella?
Molly? We hired her. Stella, we hired this girl.
Oh my
Stella, she was in my
gosh.
business like that with the Apple TV. But yeah, so with the previews for next week, what are you guys thinking? Should we do predictions? Should we jump
Yeah,
to
we,
that?
we can do predictions.
Should we do predictions?
And now, your AfterBuzz TV.
What kind of predictions can we really make?
I know we
for
don't really
this?
have predictions so much as maybe statements.
Statements. All right, then we can do
Let's do
statements of
AfterBuzz
the day.
TV
Yeah.
statements.
True.
Doesn't have the same ring.
Right. Start it.
I mean, like I said, statements. I don't know, but I will. The way this one ended with her saying, "This is lunacy." Again, another great one-liner. Like she kills me. I don't know. For next week specifically, I don't even remember what was on the preview because it wasn't like a this season on sort of a thing.
It was fighting.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we
straight
kind of
fighting
saw the first taste of
with,
like drama. Anthony and
Anthony
someone who
and-
wasn't on this episode.
Yeah, about kids being on the tour with the dancers. Like the kids were traveling with the dancers, and I don't know if it was. They said Jade. So who's Jade? Do we remember? Is Jade the child? Is Jade Stella's
Oh,
child?
Jaden.
Is
I saw
Jaden
that name
Stella's
thrown
child?
around. I didn't know. I don't think they
Not sure who
clarified that.
Jaden
Maybe
is.
it's.
It might be
it's
Stella's child or someone's child, but he was having a conniption about the kids traveling with the dancer, which I agree.
I mean, you can't afford. Well, not if Stella's cutting costs. I was like, you can't afford
true.
private.
But like, how would you feel as a dancer? Being like, this is my job, and now I have this child running around
Well,
on
plus
our
they're
bus.
adults. You know what I mean? Like you imagine like the banter that goes along
have
with
to act
roadies of any
differently.
type of tour like that.
Right.
You know? Yeah.
It's like free
It's like that's a place
babysitting.
they can let loose, like when they're on the road and they have to worry about their language or whatever.
And then we saw more Brian. I don't like Brian.
Why don't you like Brian?
Like,
just
like,
don't.
I'm like,
I don't
so we
like his
get him on the
attitude.
show or what?
I don't. No. If he's dating Mariah, we can't get him on the show.
Definitely not.
Cute, yeah.
I don't know.
You
what
don't
do
like Brian? You think
Probably
he's a,
when
you think
Mariah
he's a gold
broke up
digger?
with
I
him.
think he's a golden. Come on, it's J-Lo part 2.
Yeah, it is.
I was comparing it to
is.
Jill
Like, and
this whole
also-
No,
entire
especially
time.
when they did the premiere party and
Yeah.
E! News, his quote to E! News was, "I'm in love with her," or "I love her so much and I've always loved her." Okay.
bet
But how else
Just
do you
as
know her
I
to
love her. You know,
Right.
I love her. You know,
you're
but-
fangirling.
Yeah.
right
And then
now.
he goes on to
yeah.
say, "You just got to watch the show to see how it pans out." I'm like, "You thirsty little."
But see,
just
the
watch
thing
the
is,
show,
well,
though.
How do you think he feels? She went from like one of the
That's what
richest
I'm
men
saying.
ever
Yeah.
to
That's what
like
I'm
backup
saying.
dancer.
But,
Like we're cutting costs here, so how much do I really make? Like you know what I'm saying?
But even like the beach photos, like you're clearly putting on for the paparazzi. That's right there.
is.
But Mariah likes to put on for paparazzi
She does.
too. You know.
So I feel like it's
Well, now he needs a
But we're
tat on
gonna
his
see-
back, and we'll
right.
call it a
We're
day.
gonna see it build up in this season, though. You know.
the love.
It's interesting how they're editing it because they're showing kind of that affair already.
Right, and do we even think that maybe, I don't even know if Mariah really was like even paying much attention to him in the beginning. I mean, you know, they're focusing on that because of, again, editing, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what to think. Like, I feel like I'm just looking out for Mariah. I don't know why I feel like I need to do that, but I just don't.
should.
I don't like him.
She seems like she could do without it. I think that she was like toying with him and playing along with
And
it.
he's
But
just like when
she
he
was like,
tipped his little hat, so smarmy, just like.
But let's be so real. Mariah ain't stupid. He is not the first and won't be the last of the
Right.
guys
Yeah.
that come up to him. And he's a rebound for her.
Right.
He's someone to pass the time when you're working all the time. Hot guys around.
Right.
They,
well,
you
isn't
know,
this the second
work
time he was
together.
the
he can't pay
rebounds?
for nothing, but he's.
I don't know if did they hook up before? Do you know?
I don't know.
I didn't.
I didn't
think
get
so.
that vibe. I think they
Wait,
just
but
were
then
like
how
close.
did she know what he looked like without? I mean,
From
she
back
was
in
a
a dancer.
05.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
I
danced
get
for
it.
her.
Dancer.
I don't know. The
So-
way they were interacting, it seems like a little bit more than a professional relationship.
Oh, I think it was like a
Right.
flirtatious relationship. But I don't know if they ever like.
Well, they could have
had
just
sex.
played it like that just for the sake of.
Maybe.
You know what? Yeah,
Juicing
maybe
it
they
up.
had a one night, you know,
Maybe,
rap
right.
party after the tour.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I
It's
mean, yeah,
possible.
it totally. But I just think there's a few other better looking background dancers.
Yeah, there were cuter ones. I was
Yeah.
thinking the same
I know.
thing.
I was like, at
I
least
was like,
go for.
he's the one?
Yeah, like
Okay.
why him? But
Maybe
we'll
he's
see.
really smart.
Maybe he's really.
Because Mariah
Such an
needs a really
optimist. I
smart
love
guy.
I don't
He's
think
probably
so.
a really nice guy, Brian.
Brian,
Maybe
call,
she finds
call
his
us
brains
up.
attractive.
Right. Well, we will see. Thank you guys for tuning in, and
Woo,
we'll let
7
you-
more episodes.
Right.
Stay tuned.
8 parts. I'm Abigail Fraher, and you can follow me on all social media at Abigail Fraher.
And I'm Jesse D'Angelo. Me and Mariah go back like babies and pacifiers. You can find me across all social media at Jesse J. D'Angelo.
You can also find me everywhere. Kalima, Kalima, Music, Art, Wisdom.
And I'm Olivia Gabaree, the real OG. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter, the real_O_G.
Thanks, guys.
Bye, guys.
Toodles.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.